Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about and breaking down how the Chicago Bulls are being voted as a favorite to make a major trade or move in this offseason, and also talking about the recent rumors about the Chicago Bulls being named a potential landing spot for James Harden. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also leave a quick like below today's video, takes a second and helps me out a lot, and leave some comments and questions below today's video about these articles and these rumors I'm about to jump into. Also, just a little heads up, I did post a video earlier today talking about free agency day one. For some odd reason it did get copyrighted and it pretty much got blocked worldwide, so I'm just going to go over my thoughts on the Bulls free agency day one and then jump into today's video. Now obviously the Bulls and Vooch came to an extension a few days ago. I believe that's a good deal for Vooch. I really expected him to come back, so that doesn't surprise me and anger me as much as it does for some other Bulls fans that wanted the Bulls to move on from him. And then after that, right when NBA free agency did begin yesterday, the Chicago Bulls did bring back Coby White on a 3-year, $33 million deal. There's also been some conflicting reports that it's a 3-year, $40 million deal. I believe the $40 million deal is just with extra money and bonuses if he hits a certain amount of three-pointers or something like that. But nonetheless, I believe that's another great deal for honestly both parties in that deal. Getting a young point guard like Coby White back, a really good catch and shoot player that will obviously help the Bulls three-point shooting on a really cheap contract in my eyes. It's a great deal for both parties and I'm happy Coby is back. And now obviously onto the big signing at Jevon Carter. I love this signing. I believe this is the steal signing of free agency day one. He brings everything that this Bulls team has been missing. Toughness, a true point guard in my eyes. You know, he's not a great facilitator, but he can definitely help out this Bulls roster. He's a great three-point shooter. He's a good on-ball defender. He's a very feisty and just pest on-ball defender that's going to be a great addition to this Bulls roster. As of right now, I'm loving all the moves the Bulls have done. Hopefully they can continue to add another shooter, maybe a center or power forward or a big wing. Definitely leave your thoughts and opinions below today's video about Bulls free agency day one. But now, nonetheless, let's just jump right into today's video because this article did come out just the other day from Bleacher Report, and a bunch of random NBA executives did vote that the Chicago Bulls, the Raptors, the Pelicans, and the Hawks are all being listed as favorites to make a major move in this upcoming offseason. Now, let me just first off say this doesn't surprise me. I feel like most NBA executives, GMs, even Bulls fans really don't know what the Chicago Bulls are going to do in this offseason, so it doesn't surprise me that the Bulls are being listed a favorite to make a major move. Now, according to GQ's Howard Beck, the 4 teams that I just listed, those 4 NBA teams that I did listed, he is reporting that those are the 4 teams to keep an eye on to make major moves this offseason. And now that doesn't surprise me. 3 of those 4 teams have an all-star level player whose future has been kind of uncertain. Now, Zion Williamson's name has been thrown in a lot of trade rumors and drama, especially on Twitter. Same with Zach LaVine. The Bulls have been shopping him and calling other teams surrounding his name and his future with the Bulls for weeks now. And honestly, same with DeMar DeRozan. I feel like the Bulls are heavily shopping Zach and DeMar. You know, that could just be the Bulls front office doing their due diligence and seeing what their players are worth on the trade market, but it wouldn't shock me or surprise me if the Bulls did move on from one of those two. As of right now, the Bulls can't trade Vooch, I believe, until like 6 to 9 months or something like that because he just signed a contract extension. And in this article, they did say that the Bulls have to figure out a long-term direction at some point. Lonzo Ball is once again going to miss all of this upcoming season. Now, Sean Devy of Heavy.com reported back in May that the Bulls team is open to reshaping its roster around Zach LaVine, and if that ends up being the case, DeMar DeRozan could find himself on the trade block as he does enter the final season of his contract with the Bulls. Now, I've said this in past videos, I'm going to continue to say it. I feel like the Bulls would be silly to trade Zach LaVine right now, and given how much the trade market is dead right now, I mean, NBA players and NBA All-Stars are getting traded for pretty much just salary dumps like Bradley Beal. So it wouldn't surprise me if this Bulls team just decided to keep Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, you know, sign Jevon Carter, maybe add 1 or 2 more shooters and wings and just run this roster back. That's still what I'm expecting to do, but it's definitely still interesting that NBA executives and NBA insiders are listing the Bulls a favorite to make a big trade. Now, with that being said, speaking of a major move possibility, the Chicago Bulls are being linked to James Harden. Now, this does surprise me. I talked about this topic a little bit in my video earlier today that got taken down, but I wanted to talk about it more in today's video. This does surprise me. It's very confusing and very interesting that the Bulls are being linked to James Harden. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't see the Bulls trading for James Harden at all. Leave your thoughts and opinions below today's video. If you guys would want the Bulls to trade Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan for James Harden. Now, Zach LaVine has been linked to the 76ers for a while now, and according to Jake L. Fisher of YahooSports.com, he did list the Bulls as a potential destination for James Harden, and he did say Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are names to monitor and just keep an eye on. Now, that's not shocking. I've already talked about that. The Bulls have been shopping those two names for a while now just to see what their value is on the trade market. Now, per Jake L. Fisher, he did write this article and put out this quote, and he did say Chicago would be one potential trade partner to keep in mind as the Bulls have made Zach LaVine available in conversations this offseason, sources have said, and they could also send an all-star such as DeMar DeRozan back to the 76ers. Now, like I just did say, I don't see the Bulls trading for James Harden. It just doesn't make sense. Swapping Zach LaVine for James Harden doesn't make sense in my opinion. I mean, James Harden just accepted his player option worth $36 million. That's a lot of money. James Harden's getting up there in age. I like Zach LaVine a lot more than James Harden. If I had to trade one of these players for James Harden, it would definitely be DeMar DeRozan, but I doubt the 76ers would do that. Also, I just don't know how Bulls fans would feel with another heavy ISO player like James Harden next to Zach LaVine. And honestly, I would vote James Harden more ISO heavy than DeMar DeRozan by far. And then after that, another article did come out from Bleacher Report saying that the Bulls are the 76ers' best James Harden trade partner, obviously with all the Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan trade rumors. And I honestly just don't get it. I feel like the Bulls are just being linked and rumored to James Harden, maybe just to up his trade value or something like that. I see no way or no world where the Bulls do trade for James Harden. I'm not interested in him. Say the Bulls do trade DeMar DeRozan for James Harden. I would be very interested if the Bulls could get Tyrese Maxey in return, but I just feel like that's very unlikely. As of right now, I don't see this Bulls team making any major trades or any major moves in this upcoming offseason. I feel like honestly the Bulls' main offseason is already kind of over. They don't have that much more salary cap left to spend, and once again, I don't believe this Bulls front office has the green light to go over the luxury tax, and I don't expect them to. Now, it truly just does seem like the Bulls are going to sign Javon Carter, maybe add another wing, maybe a power forward or one more shooter, and then be done and fill out this roster with vet minimums. I don't see any major trades coming, especially for James Harden. Leave your thoughts and opinions below today's video about Chicago Bulls free agency day 1. The Bulls being linked to making a major move in this upcoming offseason and also being linked to James Harden. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.